All right. What's up, everybody? And welcome to Jeff's final live broadcast from Oxnard, California. Thanks, everybody, for being along for the ride. It's been a wonderful time. Wonderful time. Wonderful time. Wonderful time. Got here through the scrimmage, and I am taking off tomorrow morning from LA back to Dallas. So, this is our final little deal that we're going to do. And our final little deal, of course, gets spiced up a little bit because Jerry Jones wanted to talk to people after they scrimmaged the Rams today. So we might need some like Jerry Jones commandments. One of the first comments, we're about to lose Dak and CeeDee. CeeDee's about to sign a contract extension. What we got to do is not worry about words that Jerry Jones says. That's the rules. Like, it's dumb that he talks, kind of. It's dumb in one way. It's really smart in the other way. He says stuff on purpose because it gets his team talked about. His team stays in the headlines. His team stays popular, and they're worth the most. Jerry Jones said he feels no urgency to get a deal done with CeeDee Lamb. That's what he said today. Why did he do that? Now CeeDee took America's team out of his profile on Twitter, and he put his little banner picture back to an OU picture of CeeDee Lamb. So he's pissed off CeeDee Lamb. Why did he do that? Because there's real football happening now. There's people playing right this second. But tomorrow, you know what the stupid TV shows are going to talk about? They're going to talk about what Jerry Jones said about CeeDee Lamb. A block. First segment at the gate. Cowboys content, baby. Don't worry about what Jerry Jones says. Don't worry about it. Just don't. Because the words don't mean anything. Like he can say, okay, here's Jerry, right? Jerry, Clarence Hill, Fort Worth, Star Telegram. What's going on with CeeDee? Well, Terrence, Taryn. Anyway, we ain't worried about it. You know, CeeDee is a lamb, that is, and I mean that not to be tried, but CeeDee is, and he's a good receiver. We'd win without him. We don't need him. It don't matter. We're just Cowboys. We'll be fine. Everything's fine. In my life, there's been 17 times where I thought, I got to get a thing done. And then when I did and it was done, I realized that done was not what I did. And so anyway, we're going to get it done. But Jared, did you just say you don't care and you don't need? Well, when I was working at the grocery store, and I'd see the apples. And you see what you see when you look at that apple is a little brown spot, and you're thinking, oh, that thing's not good anymore. And I'm thinking, maybe it's got a little bit of a different life than the one you want. But boy, if I had to add up the times that my apple was a little brown and then we got some fruit, boy, I'd have a wooden nickel. It doesn't matter what he says. They're not real words. Don't worry about it. CeeDee's going to get done. Where they are with CeeDee is exactly where they are with Dak. The Cowboys are currently in the position of being on all fours. And they're going, it's not the way I should have taken that. They're about to pay whatever CeeDee wants. And then they're going to do the exact same thing with Dak. And they're going to do the exact same thing for Micah Parsons. And they're going to talk and talk and talk. And they're going to let him get too far into it where there's no leverage left for the team. And there's no reason for the player to make any sort of concession because they're too close to getting paid on the open market. And they're going to get every single dime that they want because the Joneses don't know how to negotiate. Don't worry about it. CeeDee's going to get every dime. He's going to get his Justin Jefferson contract, and he's going to go play football. But Jerry's going to be on TV tomorrow now. The Cowboys will be front and center. Boy, did you see what Jerry said? Oh, my God, CeeDee Lamb is not following. He's going to unfollow the team, and he's going to – we don't worry about Jerry. Well, I mean, so when I said on all fours, what I meant was they're bent over a barrel, just like they were with Dak last time, where they had to give him literally every dime, even though half of his leg was shooting out that way. Because you lose leverage when you let people get to the end of contracts. They're idiots. Idiots is mean. They're not the best negotiators there. Now, Any questions that anybody has about the scrimmage versus the Rams? If you want to talk about football, we're happy to talk about football a little bit. So throw anything you got at me. But you have to keep in mind that when they do a scrimmage, they're going on both fields, and I had to pick where I was going to be. And the place that I picked where I was going to be as soon as I saw that Tyler Guyton was not going to be taking part for the offense is I went over and watched the Cowboys defense. So I could see random things that happened over there. I saw Flournoy play and a Cooks play and a John Stevens. Like I saw random guys make random plays, but I was watching the defense. That's what I was watching. Okay. Millionaires don't have leverage on billionaires ever. Ask Dak Prescott. You think Jerry wanted to pay him what he paid him on one leg? No, he didn't, but he had to. And he had to give the concession of no franchise tag next time, no trade clause. That millionaire, can't use that word, that millionaire got everything he could ever dream of from that billionaire while he had one leg, because the billionaire doesn't know how to negotiate with the millionaires or win. So, shout out to Reginald Atatula on his new job. Yeah, my buddy Reggie got the midday job in Houston. We love Reggie Atatula. Very, very happy for all the things he's going to do. Stay tuned to this channel, which will have a little bit of a different look in a few weeks. It'll still be Jeff talking about the Cowboys, but there might be more to it. Yeah. How did the D-line look? How did the DTs look? All these different things. Did we not have a fight? No, there was no fights. There were a couple of pushes, a couple of push battles on the offensive side. Damone Clark, I think, wanted somebody to fight, but they wouldn't. Like, he was thumping running backs a little bit and then getting jaw to jaw, like, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? But they didn't take the bait. Nobody fought. I thought today was Mozzie Smith's best day, comfortably. In the one-on-ones, on the 2-on-2s, the individual stuff where they've been working really hard on technique and his ability to get off of a block and where do we want your hands and are we getting off the ball and all those different things. Today was his best day, and it was going against the Rams offensive lineman. He did a little bit of pulling himself through and getting an arm over and getting free of guys. I thought today was Mozzie's best day, which that's a good thing. We like that. Justin is in the super chat. It's twos and knees, Jeff, not all fours. Twos and knees. Four. Well, you're on. I don't know. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I thought Mozzie had his best day, which is wonderful. We like that. We like Mozzie having his best day. That's a good thing. Where's a question that I just saw? How did Overshown and the new guy do? I like the Cowboys linebackers a lot. Kendricks had a woo play. The woo play means that the other team is running a play, and we're not really tackling people and going to the ground, but he had a play where he was just flying downhill, and there was no chance to block him, and it would have been a play for like no gain, and thumped him up pretty good, and then you get the woo, and everybody goes woo. So Kendricks had at least one of those today. Leafau had at least one of those today. Overshown had at least one of those today. Which linebacker am I missing? 1, 2, 3, because there's the 4 of them. Kendricks, Overshown. Oh, Clark. Yeah, Clark had at least one of those today. So I think that the Cowboys linebacker group is fun. It's fun. It's exciting. They brought in a couple of new guys today, and I don't think they needed to, because I think your fifth linebacker can be, damn it, did I not bring my roster over here? 55, 57, UFL guy and Buddy Johnson, one of those guys. I think your linebackers are probably already here, and I don't think the new guys are going to be the guys that make the team. I think it'll be one of the guys that were already here. 55 and 57 are probably battling for a fifth linebacker spot, and we like that. Any picks from Justin in the chat? Oh, there was a pick to the guy who got mad at me for not having takes. I only have takes when they're real, is when I have takes. So I have 3 takes in Cowboys camp so far. Take 1, Mike McCarthy's a way better coach than he gets credit for. Take number 2, Rico Dowdle better lead this team in carries because he's the best running back on this team, and it ain't close. Take number 3, we're wasting our time with Nashawn Wright running with the ones when Trayvon Diggs is not doing 11 on 11. That should be Kalen Carson. So they were running red zone, and the first team's out there, and Stafford throws a fade on the left on Nashawn Wright, touchdown. Yay. The 2s come in, and Kalen Carson's covering Tutu Atwell, and he intercepts the first play that they ran. Like, Kalen Carson makes plays. He's sticky in coverage, and Nashawn Wright, that's just not true of. He's on every special team right now, right? That is. But he's the guy that when the Cowboys first team offense is in there, when the Rams first team offense is in there, if a bunch of passes are getting completed, I promise I can tell you who's being targeted and how that's getting done. Because it's not Deron Bland and it's not Jordan Lewis. It's Nashawn Wright. Kalen Carson has been good enough, is smooth enough, is smart enough, is experienced enough that Kalen Carson should be getting the first team reps until Trayvon Diggs is out there, and it better start soon. But we're going to see a bunch of them in the preseason game. Willie Harvey, thank you for the linebacker name. Yeah, Willie Harvey and Buddy Johnson, I think, are battling. Zeke ran well today. Zeke looked good today. Zeke looked good. Rico looked better. That's the story of camp. Like, Zeke doesn't look bad. He's not the explosive guy that he was 5 years ago, but he looks okay. It's not like he sticks out as, oh, that guy doesn't belong in an NFL camp. But there's a difference when it's, oh, did you get the edge? Okay. Did you get past the first line of defense? And how quickly are we moving now? How much burst are we showing? The guy who shows the burst is Rico. The other guy on this team that shows burst when he gets into the open field is actually Nathaniel Pete, the rookie running back, wearing number 36. Got a little thickness, got a little burst. Nathaniel Pete. Did you see my super chat? Roman Wolf Gaming. Top 5 in the scrimmage, Jeff. What does that mean, top 5? Like the top 5 players? I do appreciate the super chat. So, Tyler Smith looked normal, destroying people, best guard in the game. Tyler Smith's a freak show, and it happened so fast. You don't beat Tyler Smith. And if you do, it better be early, because it's much like young Tyron was. Once those hands hit you, you're done. You are done. And that anchor ain't moving, and those hands are not coming off. Tyler Smith is a freaking stud. I don't have a top 5, but I did note down like 2 different categories. Veterans who keep showing up and making plays. Dak, Cooks, Ferguson, Parsons, Eric Kendricks, Deron Bland, Damone Clark. And I'm sure I'm leaving out names. Those are the ones that I thought of off the top of my head when I was thinking about it. The youngsters that showed up today and have been consistently showing up: Kalen Carson, Leah Fow, T. Billy, Tyron Billy Johnson, Ryan Flournoy, again, now that he's back in practice. They got good receiver depth. Like, I'm not going to make the prediction that whoever the third wide receiver is, I guess it's most likely Jalen Tolbert, is like a number 2 receiver or whatever. But they've got, I think, Tolbert, Turpin, Cropper, Flournoy, T. Billy. I think all of those guys, if a team is hurting at wide receiver and they got to put somebody in an NFL game to be a starter and go play, I think all of them can play. They got too many. And it's different than the year where we just latch on to a random UDFA and they have a couple of nice days. It's every day. Tyron Billy Johnson makes a play every day. Jalen Cropper makes plays every day. Flournoy is off to a promising start. And we know the 5 receivers that are making this team. These guys are battling for number 6. And I don't notice either one of them doing a lot of special teams. So I don't know what they're going to do with Flournoy, T. Billy, or Cropper if one of them makes the team. But I hope that they do. Will Deuce Vaughn make this team? Boy, it's hard to make the team in the tub. Yeah, if Rico goes down, it's a bad running back room for sure. I don't know. So running backs, my common sense tells me Zeke makes the team, Rico makes the team, Lipke makes the team. I'm 100% Rico and Lipke. I'm 95% Zeke because he's Zeke. And so that probably leaves one running back spot, whether that's Royce Freeman, whether that's Deuce Vaughn, whether it's Pete, whether it's Malik Davis. I think there's one spot. And then they'll have probably a couple of those guys on the practice squad. That's the way I'm seeing it. Backup 3 tech, that's Golston. They played him a little bit at edge today. I don't love Golston as a 3 technique. It goes into their D tackle room as a whole. Like, Osa's obviously the best D tackle on this team, and it ain't close. But he's a better upfield player than he is just straight up take on blocks and run defend. And yet he's the best of the Cowboys group at that job too. Mozzie could be. He could turn into that. I worry about the D tackle group because your backup 3 technique is really a big edge, not a small D tackle, but he's playing D tackle because that's what their group is right now. So I worry about the D tackle group. The running back room is not great, but we knew those things before we got here. So that hasn't really changed in any way. We knew that when we got here. Alan, in your opinion, is Guyton a starter? Yes. What hurts Guyton is we're building a lot of our optimism off of a very small sample size. He had a really nice day when he went in with the ones and held up really well against Micah Parsons in pass rush stuff and 11 on 11. But then he got sick. And then the last couple days he's been sucking wind because he's coming off being sick and was obviously not well enough. McCarthy said in his press conference today, he said, I'm not 100% that he's 100% right now. And so we'll give it a go and see what happens, but they did not give it a go. Like he went out there and he did his individual stuff and he worked on, but when they went and played against the Rams, he did not. So yeah, you've got time. And I think Tyler Guyton is your starting left tackle. That's going to happen. Week 1, he'll be the starting left tackle. I do believe that. But you haven't really seen enough out here to make a great evaluation. So hopefully he is healthy and he is feeling 100% and he's able to get a bunch of snaps in the preseason. But I do think that he will be left tackle. The tight ends, Ferguson. Ferg caught a bunch of passes before I walked over to watch defense. Ferguson's a dude. He's big-time dude status. After Ferguson, John Stevens made a play today. 48, Princeton Fant is on all the special teams and pops up occasionally as either a fullback or a tight end. Spanford makes an occasional play. Hendershot makes an occasion. It's very up and down for not even up and down, just like how often do you notice a guy? And the answer is, well, I notice a different tight end a couple of times a day. It's Ferg and we'll see. Who do I think is the second tight end? Well, Schoonmaker. It'll be Ferg, Scooney, and probably 2 other guys. Maybe John Stevens and Princeton Fant or Brevin Spanford, since he was their biggest UDFA money-wise. One of those. Something like that. The Jones impression would be great for stand-up. Yeah, but then I'd have to stand in front of people, and that would be terrifying. Here's a guy just making stuff up about CeeDee. That's interesting. Okay. Jerry makes it hard for everyone, but he has a nice boat. He does have a nice boat. Cropper had a drop. He can't have those. All right, then we have to send home every wide receiver in camp, and that's unfortunate. I didn't hear Zeke or Rico doing good today. Not good. No, they both did good today. So that's not true. They both looked fine. What player that's probably going to get cut made a play today? Talk about your evaluation of Steele. I think Steele looks okay. He looks better than he did last year at camp, but he looks okay. Jared Verse out there for the Rams is a good player. And he looked like a good player. Didn't get to see defense today other than the linebackers, what jumped out. Like I said, Mozzie's best day. It was Mozzie's best day. The Rams never made a big play on them. I don't think they hit a single big play. They cover well. They can rush. The run defense. Why did I say it like that? Because I was trying to make a point. I don't know. Run defense was up and down, but the linebackers fly around. The top of the roster pass rush guys are wonderful. They can cover. Cowboys defense could be really, really good. It could be really, really. Yeah, I saw Jared Verse beat Zach Martin. Embarrassed him, I believe, was the post when he beat Zach Martin. But it was Zach Martin with a really good tan, playing tackle and wearing a Sim Richards jersey. So, to the random Rams fan who said that Verse embarrassed Zach Martin, you want to check your roster or the amount of melanin on the person. Make sure we're identifying people properly. But anywho, I think that'll do it. My final broadcast from Cowboys Camp 2024. Thank you guys for being part of it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to make my way back to DFW, and then we'll do Cowboys season. How about that? Love it. Thank you guys. You're the best. Go sports. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Be easy.